Man, you guys just finished Thanksgiving. You've already had your turkey and your ham. It's time for the Christmas holidays. Treat your in-laws to something nice. Get you a prime rib roast. 3 simple ingredients: mustard and a wood-fired Weber will take care of everything.
Welcome back to BluffCityGrub. Today we're going to be doing a holiday prime rib roast for you.
The prime rib roast, we're just going to go ahead and cook on all wood-fired grill. That's the way to get the best flavor out of beef.
We're going to keep our prime rib simple. A lot of people like to do prime rib for the holidays just because it's something different than turkey. Adds a different aspect to dinner, so to speak. But we're not going to overcomplicate it for you today. We got a simple rub to use. We got simple instructions for the grill. So this is your simple choice ribeye. We just got this from Costco. Real simple cut. They've already trimmed it up. A lot of times they have a big fat cap on top of it, but they've trimmed this down where it's not that fatty. So it's a little bit leaner than if you got the whole rib loin itself. We just got a couple basic ingredients. We got a rub here, which we'll tell you what's in that. Also a little bit of mustard, real simple. Butter, that's going to set it off. We're going to show you how to use that as well. And then we have a little bit of peach.
Right here, a little bit of peach.
A little bit of peach. And that peach right there is going to add our smoke flavor to it.
I cannot wait for this prime rib, Greg.
This prime rib is going to be absolutely delicious. Happy holidays from BluffCityGrub.
Merry Christmas. Let's get to cooking.
We're going to go ahead and get our prime rib prepped up and ready to go. We've had it sitting out for a little bit and it's come up to room temperature. You don't want to start it cold. We're going to take it and do a little bit of mustard on the top of it. And this is just going to act as a binder just to help our rub stick to it. You don't need that much of it. We're going to slather that in really good. Over. This is going to be our rub for our prime rib, and this is going to actually be, really special. A lot of people don't know this. We're going to start out with 2 parts black pepper. We also have 2 parts kosher salt, and the black pepper, by the way, is coarse ground pepper. And then here's the secret ingredients: Herbes De Provence, which is actually an old steak and ale recipe that a lot of people don't know about. It's going to set that prime rib off. They were famous for their prime rib. We're going to go ahead and get this guy rubbed up here. I like to leave one hand dry and one hand wet. So I use one hand to handle my meat and then the other hand to actually rub it with throughout the process. But you just want to be generous with it. I mean, it's a big hunking piece of meat, so don't worry about over salting it. Make sure you get all sides here. You're going to pat it in to help it kind of embed itself in the meat. Get the other side. Back side of it. All right, so we got our grill fired up. We got some smoke rolling in there. We got some peach wood. Looks like our temperature's up to 300 degrees or so. That's about right when you want to put your prime rib on the Weber kettle. So go ahead and get this bad boy on. We're gonna go fat side up. And as that fat starts to render, it's gonna kind of droop down over the meat. We wanna kind of seize this guy up. Firm them up real good, squeeze them together, and pack them tight. There we go. Let this guy roll for about an hour and we'll check back on him. All right, you want to make sure you adjust your vents properly. You want to keep our temperature around 300. So we're running a little bit hot, so we're going to go ahead and close this guy off. Let the temperature come back down a little bit. We're going to make our basting sauce for our prime rib roast. We're just going to take probably about 1 tablespoon of butter. Put that in a saucepan. We're going to kind of let that melt down. We're going to add a little bit of minced garlic to it. Probably about a heaping teaspoon. Kind of saute that a little bit. Smells really good. And now we have some thyme, some rosemary, and some Italian parsley. Fresh herbs here. We're just going to add that to it. fresh herbs here. Smells so good. Now we're gonna add about 3 sticks of butter in here. We're gonna let this melt down. We're also gonna add a little bit of a rub right here on top of it. Same rub that we use for the prime rib. It's gonna complement the flavors that are already on there. We're gonna let all that butter melt, stir it up, and then I'm gonna show you the secret ingredient. Here's gonna be our secret ingredient to this basting butter that we're gonna use for the prime rib. Now, this is Lipton's Recipe Secrets onion flavor. This stuff is absolutely delicious. I use this on a couple of dishes. We're gonna put it in our basting butter and it's gonna set this prime rib off. So take 1 pack of that, just pour it right in that butter. We're gonna mix it up real good. Okay, we're gonna stir that into the butter really good. And then we're gonna add the rest of our fresh herbs. And stir that up really good. So our butter's melted up here. You want to make sure you stir it up before you actually baste the prime rib. We got a little bit of rain here, so we're going to try to do this as quick as possible. We're about an hour in, 45 minutes to an hour in, and our temperature is looking good. We're about 70 degrees, so we got a little bit to go, but we're going to go ahead and kind of stir this up and get some of these chunks here, and we're just going to kind of baste the rib roast. Make sure you get some of that seasoning out of there. It's going to help it kind of crust up a little bit and add flavor to it. Alright, we've been cooking for another 45 minutes. We're up to 81 degrees now. Still looking really good. We're going to baste this guy again. Make sure you stir your butter up. And it's got a hefty amount of seasonings in the bottom. So make sure you kind of scoop it a little bit. That's what I'm doing, scooping it and kind of making sure these seasonings get on the prime rib. This butter is really good. If you want to, just stick your finger in there and just taste it a little bit. You'll see what I'm talking about. But this thing is looking delicious. Doesn't have too much longer here. We're gonna let it go for a couple more hours. It should be right as rain. All right, so we've been cooking for about 3 hours now, and I think we're right at the temperature we need. We're at 122. We're gonna go ahead and pull our prime rib off the grill. Got a little bit of rain here. It's all right. This thing's looking delicious. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Look at that crust. Beautiful. All right, so we have a prime rib off the grill. It's looking gorgeous. We're gonna go ahead and baste it one more time in this herb butter that we made earlier. Just one more coating of it. And this is gonna be the BluffCityGrub layers of flavor that everybody's accustomed to. That crust is really good. And I can just smell the smoke coming off of this thing. We're gonna put a sheet of aluminum foil over here for about 30 minutes or so to let it rest. All right, so our prime rib's all rested up here. Let's go ahead and get it sliced. Man, this thing's looking beautiful. I'm gonna go right down the center. See what it's looking like. Oh, look at that. Oh man, that looks good. Happy holidays from BluffCityGrub.